Building a threat landscape for a specific organization using Kaspersky Threat Intelligence Portal. Why it's important to understand the threat landscape. The threat landscape is formed by conducting a comprehensive analysis of cyber threats based on intelligence about potential attackers and their characteristics. It shows the most relevant threats for a specific industry, country, or organization, and is typically visualized as a heat map based on the MITRE ATT&CK matrix. Due to the sheer volume of data, covering all the threats for an average organization is quite challenging. The best strategy is to build a threat landscape for your own company. How we do it at Kaspersky. We gather intelligence data from numerous unique and reliable sources worldwide, such as the global Kaspersky security network, web crawlers, bot farms, spam honeypots, sensors, OSINT, our partners, etc. More than 400,000 malicious samples are detected daily in this vast data stream. Samples then go through a multi-stage selection process in the automated processing system, which extracts threat-related data on countries and industries. Each file is analyzed in multiple sandboxes, extracting dozens of additional attributes such as TTPs, network behavior, behavior in the operating system, and many other correlations. The attribution mechanism provides information about the specific actor a malicious file is associated with. As a result, Kaspersky Threat Intelligence Portal users can obtain a unique threat landscape for their organization based on a live data stream. Practice. The Threat Landscape section of the Kaspersky Threat Intelligence Portal contains 3 data blocks: the filter block, the MITRE ATT&CK matrix block, and the statistics block. Let's examine each of them. The filter block contains 4 parameters: actor, attacker, industry, country, and platform. When selecting a specific actor, the user can see the techniques used by that actor. Similarly, with just a few clicks, the user can access a set of techniques relevant to the selected country or industry, a heat map of threats based on the MITRE ATT&CK matrix. For convenience, irrelevant techniques can be hidden by clicking the eye icon in the control menu. If the Sigma checkbox is selected, the techniques displayed are those for which detection logic descriptions are available in the Sigma rule format. Similarly, if the Suricata checkbox is selected, the techniques for which Suricata rules have been created are displayed. These rule sets are provided in the Data Feeds section. The selected filters representing the current threat landscape state can be saved as a separate entity, a matrix layer. This functionality is useful when several people within an organization are tracking landscape changes simultaneously, when the results need to be shared with other team members, or when security services are provided by a Managed Security Service Provider, MSSP. Also note the color gradient. Frequently occurring techniques are highlighted in a saturated shade of blue, while infrequent techniques are highlighted in a lighter shade. Using this information, users can prioritize the analysis of techniques and the creation of detection logic rules. The Threat Landscape section also includes a statistics block that changes based on the selected filters. The data is updated in real time based on a stream of hundreds of thousands of malicious samples that Kaspersky receives daily. Here, users can find information about the top 10 techniques or tactics observed in a country or industry, determine which malware was prevalent, and see which actors were involved in attacks. Now we will demonstrate how the Threat Landscape section helps develop detection logic for high priority and relevant techniques. After selecting a country and industry, a user can drill down into a technique, for example, schedule a task or job, and see some of the samples that use the technique and the names of threat actors that have used these samples in their attacks. The Threat Lookup service provides analysts with direct access to procedure examples. This helps them understand how attackers use specific techniques to achieve their goals and allows them to write correlation logic. Returning to the technique page from Threat Lookup, note the Rules section. We offer another way to cover a relevant technique with correlation, using the correlation logic already described in the Sigma rule format. There is also an option to integrate the provided suricata rules into users' existing NGFW or IPS or IDS solutions. In the Mitigations block, the user will find specific recommendations on how to prevent the successful use of specific techniques. The section concludes with the Reports block, which contains all the reports that mention the technique. Premium TI reports released by Kaspersky include tactical, operational, and strategic data for in-depth study of threat actors, their behavior, and tool sets. You will have noticed that when viewing the details of a technique in procedure examples, we show the actors that use specific samples. We proudly present the redesigned Kaspersky Threat Intelligence Portal Actor Profile section. It features over 200 actor profiles, including APT and crimeware groups. Convenient filters help identify threat actors targeting a specific industry or country and provide extensive details about each actor. We'll use the Akira profile as an example. On the right side of the actor profile, a separate block shows information on vulnerabilities exploited by the threat actor and its arsenal, malicious software and utilities. We will discuss this later. In addition to a list of industries and countries, the main block includes a detailed actor description, links to mentions in external sources, and malware verdicts. The map showing victim countries is followed by the new TTP's details block. This section is populated both manually by Kaspersky analysts and automatically through the internal logic of the threat landscape section. This means the user will always see an up-to-date actor profile with detailed information on the techniques used, which is continually enriched with details from a data stream containing hundreds of thousands of malicious files every day. Clicking on a technique, such as ingress tool transfer, brings up a page describing the technique with a familiar procedure examples block and a list of threat actors using it. Let's take a look at Muddy Waters profile and see the description and procedures examples. Actor profiles still include related reports. We now move on to Software, a new entity in the Threat Landscape section. Each profile is created manually by Kaspersky analysts. A profile includes a detailed description of the tool specified, with a capabilities block listing its main features and a procedure examples block showing examples of its use. Special attention should be paid to the detection block, as the data in this block will help analysts write detection logic to identify behavior patterns of the malware in their infrastructure. The TTP's details table details how the malware uses specific techniques from the MITRE attack matrix. Like the actor profiles, the table is automatically updated based on the incoming stream of malicious samples. The Mitigations tab is another new feature in the Threat Landscape section. It includes all the recommendations for preventing the successful use of techniques in attacks and for mitigating the consequences. In simple terms, mitigations are practical instructions on how to make infrastructure more secure and reduce the risk of an attacker successfully using a technique. All mitigations are manually filled out by analysts and are a compilation of experience and expertise. This video showcased all the new threat landscape features of the Kaspersky Threat Intelligence Portal. In conclusion, it's important to note a few points. There are currently no comparable solutions on the market that offer such a detailed threat context. The functionality is unique because it dynamically updates the cyber threat landscape in the context of a specific country or industry. Using the expertise of Kaspersky analysts combined with Kaspersky's proprietary data stream processing algorithms, the relevant external threats can be combated both proactively and preventively.